Hey, you guys remember that DEA agent who shot himself at a gun safety course that he was teaching at a high school?
Yeah.
And he's like, "You guys, I am the only one in this classroom who's trained enough to handle this gun." Bam! Shoots himself in the leg.
How freaking embarrassing is that? Oh my God.
Hey, survivors, we are going...
Cheers.
Cheers.
I beat you.
Today we're going to talk about some dumb criminals and some cop bloopers. We're not perfect, and we all make mistakes, so we're gonna jump in and have some fun with this one. So
Yes, we are.
Stay tuned. So I'll start off. I'll deprecate myself. I almost
really?
Defecate yourself?
No, not defecate.
You're gonna defecate on yourself?
Self-deprecate.
Self-defecation. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Actually, I never had a code brown that bad, but you always make it.
I have.
We'll have to explain what a code brown is.
Oh boy.
LT, what's a code brown?
Oh, that's when you got to go poop, and it's right by God now, and it's like
you're going code 3 back to the station.
and code 3 is as fast as you can frickin' get there legally. Yes.
Yeah.
So legally you're not because you're going code 3. But
It's either that or shat upon yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I almost knocked myself out responding to a bank alarm. So hauling ass to Bank of America or one of those banks and parking a little bit away. And you get close, you take your seatbelt off so you can get out.
Yep.
And I threw it in park, and I was going a little too fast. And
good thing to do, throw it in park.
Yeah, and it caught, and the car stopped, and I hit my head on the steering wheel, and it was like, bam, and I fall back, and I'm like, and I could just see my eyelids, right? You see the little bluebirds, just kind of going around, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, okay, whew, and so I get
So
out.
much like Elon Musk, the birds were free.
Yes, the birds were free,
Oh,
and
wow.
I got out of the
there.
car, and it was a false alarm. So I
It always
myself,
is. It always is.
almost committed a concussion on myself, like a
You
dumbass.
concussed yourself.
I almost concussed, or maybe that's the problem. I did concuss myself.
So I jumped out of a car one time on a traffic stop, walked up to the lady's car, license, registration, blah, 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 all that crap, everything else. Walked back up to her, just going to give her a warning, because it was only like 11 over or something like that. But anyway, I was going to give her a warning. She goes, "Officer, I hate to be like too forward or whatever." And I'm thinking, oh God, she's going to ask me for a phone number or something. And she goes, "But your fly is down." And I'm like, oh my God, no way. So I reached out and I said, "Well, thank you, ma'am." Zipped it back up. And I said, "Well, you know what? Now you have one hell of a story to tell at Thanksgiving dinner this year." It was like 3 days before Thanksgiving.
Right.
Oh, so freaking embarrassed.
And I want to tell you guys something. This is the shit that we talk about after the show. When we sit and we decompress from the show, we enjoy our cigars. We sit back and we just talk about the goofy
Lager drinker by trade.
You are a lager drinker by trade.
About the stuff that we should have talked about on the show.
Yeah,
we
need to come up with a way to do like an after show.
Yeah, that would be
So
cool.
if they're not watching the show, they're going to watch the after show?
Yes.
Well, they might, because it's probably a hell of a lot more funny.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments down below if you want to hear more of our after. And there's a lot of things we
Or
we
just
can't
the
talk about.
bloopers. If you want to hear more bloopers and funny shit that we've experienced and all,
True
instead of all the
crime.
serious stuff, let us know. Comment down below. You can send us an email. Our email right there. Look below. Our email's right there.
It says Georgia.
And we are trying to get 500. We want to shave our lager drinker by trades mustache
It's not
by the
happening.
end of the year. So we are shooting for at least 500 subscribers by the end of the year. We're getting closer. We're almost at 400, so it's exciting.
Yeah, we did a big push this last couple of days to get more subscribers and it went from like 360 all the way up to like 377. So
Yeah, I mean,
we got
we're
a
a small
few more.
show, but
Yeah, we're a small show.
Percentage-wise, we're doing really well.
Share it with your friends,
great.
guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So
Criminal. Tell me a criminal funny.
it's part of a sad and criminal. So at school, we're just starting to dive into report writing.
Okay.
And I went to a stabbing once, and he lived, right? And you have the victim write out a statement, and this was the statement. And I don't remember the name, so I'm going to make that part up. And it was, I'm sorry, it was Mike. And this is what he should have written.
Was his last name Hunt?
You're right. Yeah. This is what he tried to write. Mike stabbed me with a knife. What he wrote was Mick, M-I-K, stab, S-T-A-B, with a N-I-F.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I've seen a few of those.
Yeah. And this is a 25-year-old adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, and you can't laugh at him. You go, I mean, inside you're like, oh, my God, what a...
Wonder who his teacher was.
I don't teach English, thank you. But I said, okay, let's go a little deeper.
But you know what's scary, and just real quick on this, is kids nowadays, not back when we went to school, they wouldn't pass.
You only had one room, right, in your schoolhouse?
Well, yeah.
Right. And you can bring your flintlock to class.
But now, and your skin
Your
and
musket.
knife.
Your
And
musket.
your skin and knife.
Skin and knife.
But
Slingshot.
freaking assholes. But they, you okay?
Yeah. Did you put your horse in the front or the back?
There we go. There we go. I tied him to out yonder. God damn, well, bunch of
The
jerks.
hitching post.
The hitching post.
You were
But-
saying.
They wouldn't pass kids like that back when we went to school.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
They would not be able to pass high school or any grade.
It wouldn't get
They
to
couldn't
second
even-
grade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's a shame. But anyway.
So I did forget our fallen officers. As of right now, we
God.
have
Yeah.
196 fallen officers killed in the line of duty. We talked about other instances and suicides, and it's just a
Is
lot.
that up or down from last year?
So every
Roughly.
matrix is down except for shooting deaths.
Okay.
And those are up.
Okay.
Every matrix, all the accidents, vehicle accidents, COVID's down obviously from the night.
So wait,
from year
we
before.
have a president that is all about gun control
Yes.
and everything else, but yet shootings are up.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
No, that can't be. There's no
because
way.
if you take away guns, criminals will not have the guns.
That's true.
Come on now. Don't you
Yes.
know that?
And if you believe that or have a comment below.
All right,
we don't
so,
believe it.
To our fallen officers,
Salute.
rest in peace.
And God bless your families and all your brothers and sisters in blue.
Before we get too deep into laughing and talking about knuckleheads, John, do we have a beer moment?
We might have a beer moment.
Beer moment.
Beer moment.
That's a horrible problem to have.
One thing you can tell is this is not rehearsed.
Not
Hey,
scripted
hey,
either.
do you guys ever listen to true crime podcasts that are scripted? I find them so boring.
It's
Yeah, it's not
sleepy.
as fun as like Murder Hour.
Yeah, Murder Hour is amazing. You guys should check out Murder Hour, by the
When
way.
are you guys going to do some more Murder Hour? What the hell?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night?
Yeah, so Murder Hour is another podcast that I'm on with my daughter and my son-in-law and my brother-in-law. And
It is a lot of fun.
LT shows up every once in a while. We've never had John because
I've never been
he
invited.
won't let us shave his mustache. So,
Gonna happen.
All right, John, what do we got here?
We have, and it's by Linnenkugels. It is a toasted Bock. Linnenkugels.
I like it.
It's a nice. It's an amber.
It's a darker amber. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a
Dark
Bach
amber.
color.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to start it. I'm going to
Okay,
start it off.
yeah.
I'm going to start it off with a 9.2.
9.2.
Man, this is some good shit. I
Right?
really like this a lot, but I'm a darker beer drinker.
Yeah, yeah. John?
Last week I gave what 8.5
Yeah.
for that
For the porter.
that chocolate porter,
Yeah.
chocolate peanut butter porter. Yeah, good.
I'm gonna give it. It's a very drinkable beer. I'm gonna give it an 8, a solid 8.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
I think it's a good 8. Yeah. All right.
right.
Kugel, toasted
So we have like an
pot.
8.6. I like it.
So
awesome.
So speaking of beer and cops,
Brr.
You've heard of what is it? Choir practice. That's a
Oh,
cop
yeah.
term. What's choir practice, LT?
That's when all the boys and girls get together after the shift and they go to the bar and they say, let's drink and talk about all the BS that we did over the last week or whatever. And it's a decompression. It's a release. It's a let's get rid of all the stress so that we don't bring this shit home to our families and everything else. Yeah, absolutely. Choir practice.
Yeah, I used to work for LT's dad, and we used to go to choir practice at his place quite often.
Yeah,
And
he had a bar set up, and
a dance floor,
karaoke,
everything.
Yeah,
I
it
just
was
gotta
nice.
say that is one problem with take-home cars.
Oh yeah, right.
That is the only problem I
Yeah,
have
you
with
can't
take-home
stop
cars.
by the bar on the way home and have one or two.
Can't be
One
like-
or two.
It's not like hey, let's go grab a beer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me go home and change. Yeah.
And
When I
So you kind of
worked
have to
for-
plan ahead.
When I worked for a PD north of here, we didn't have take-home cars, and we changed in the locker room. So you basically broke down to, I mean, you may still have your pants, your work pants on.
Right. But
But everything
solid
else
black
was,
pants.
Yeah,
so,
they're
yeah.
solid black
Right.
pants and solid
Go
black
straight
boots.
down the side.
No, we didn't have any
Yeah.
stripe.
So
Yeah, and we would go to the bar and have a couple of beers and just talk about the shit. And it was usually on your last day
the
before
tour.
your 2 days off or
Yeah,
3 days
right.
off or whatever. And man, it was great.
Hey, and
I'll
that
tell you
agency,
what, it
did you
was
have
great.
12-hour shifts, or was
We
it
did
before?
back then, yeah.
And it was the 3 on.
Same
yeah.
as
Greatest
where
shift
we
of
all
all
retired.
time.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was great.
So I mentioned your dad because
doesn't know how to renew his tag.
one of my favorite stories, when I was, and probably all three of us, when we're young, brand new into the job, we're full of vinegar and want to charge hell with a bucket of water and all that. And so, you want to get into the shit, right? It's part of the excitement of being a cop.
Absolutely.
So I'm working for Steve, and me and my partner get to a domestic violence, and this guy, Randy Barrow.
Oh God.
So, and anytime you go to Randy's house, it's going to be a fight.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So we get there, and me and my partner, Keith, remember Keith?
Yeah.
So we're there, and we're about ready to, kick some ass, right? And we're just, And your dad, and Randy's like, yeah, fuck you guys, I'll kick y'all's ass. And your dad, wise, says, Randy, how strong are you? I'm super strong. How many push-ups can you do? Oh, I can do 100 push-ups. I don't believe you can do 100 push-ups. And he's like, well, I'll show you. So okay, show me. So he gets on the ground to start doing push-ups. And we jump him and cuff him. And we're like, fuck you, Steve.
We took all the fun out of the fight. What the hell?
Yeah, but that works once
It does work once, yeah.
on that guy.
Yeah, right? And I'm like,
Yeah, but another guy,
right.
similar. The old man. Okay, my old man. So he was a master. You get this guy, he's screaming and hollering in his house, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so they go across the street, and one of the guys takes his flashlight, and you have the instant on. You just tap it, and it flashes the flashlight. He's standing across the street, and this guy's screaming and cussing. And my old man says, if he comes out of that house, down the steps and into the yard, he's ours for frickin' disturbing the peace.
Yep.
And the guy's standing in his porch and he's cussing, mother effers, F you, and all that. So they leave, black out, everything else. So one of the guys goes across the street and he's like,
His name happened to be Gary.
Yeah, Gary.
Yeah.
And he says
he called it drunk fishing.
He says, I'm gonna drunk fish. And he's doing this with his thing like he's fishing. And he goes dee 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 dee. And pretty soon the guy comes down the stairs and he goes, "You mother effers, bring it on!" And he's screaming, and he gets all the way out to the street, and it's,
we warned you, don't come out.
Don't worry, we warned you, do not come out of that house.
Yeah.
Or you're going to jail. And, he did. So,
yeah.
was it ethical? Well, okay, maybe not. But you know
not.
what? This guy was a scourge of the neighborhood.
Yeah, he was a
And
dick.
the neighbors were calling in like every 5 minutes, bitching about this guy, screaming and cussing and hollering and everything else. So it solved the problem for the night. And actually, it solved it for quite a few weeks. He didn't never come back out.
Everybody arrested the guy on Seminole?
Seminole.
Pascalson?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, fought him a few times. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a guy in the city where we worked, and if you got called to his place, you knew you were going to fight him. Yeah.
Yep. Fight was on.
This guy, your dad, once again, and this guy was playing the piano. It was all set up to speakers and everything, and the neighbors called. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he's playing the piano really loud. And we get there, and he's like, "Fuck you guys, you can't." And we said, "Turn it down, turn it down." And he's like, "Oh." Halfway down the block, we get another call from the neighbor, and he comes out.
He's cranked it back up.
And all he had to do is he did this to Steve, "You mother," and gone.
Game
Battery
on.
law enforcement
Game
officer.
on.
Yep. So
I went to call one time, and there was a noise complaint, and the guy, we couldn't get him to answer the door. And no matter what we did, we could not get him to answer the door. And it was screaming music, and he was in there screaming and hollering and everything else. And it was a duplex. So you can imagine the people up front were like, "Jesus, man, my kids are trying to sleep,"
Right?
So what did old Greg do? Greg was another silver fox like my dad. Always thinking, dude. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, well, let's just break the door down. And he's like, "I can't do that on freaking noise complaint." And I'm like, yeah. I was a rookie, And he goes,
"Let's do it. Let's kick some doors."
Yeah. He goes, "Just go around and shut his power off." And I went, "Holy shit, that's beautiful." So I went around, I went, and there goes the music. And he goes, he goes, "When he walks out that door, screaming and hollering, he's ours." And he walked out the door to check his power, and he goes, "You mother," gone. Solve the problem.
See, that's wisdom.
It is.
That's wisdom.
Years of doing it, thinking. It's wisdom.
You got to be creative.
It was funnier than hell. So how many times did you guys leave your car in gear and you got out of the car either on a traffic stop or a call or whatever? I did it at least 3, maybe 4 times.
I looked out. I never did. I done a lot of other stupid shit, but
one was a traffic stop where I get out. I'm trying to get a license, registration. Boom.
Oh, you actually hit the car?
Oh, yeah. And I'm like,
oh, shit.
Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Here's your stuff. Go back the car up a little bit. Check my car. Everything's good. Check her car. Everything's good. I'm like, "You're going a little fast. Have a good day." We don't have to talk about this ever again.
I did it one time, and I got out, and I only got to just outside of the door and maybe up like 5 or 6 feet. And all of a sudden, the car's keeping up with me, and I'm like,
"Oh, jeez!"
I'm like, so I jump back in, hit the brakes, and what do? You bounce off the freaking door web, and it's like, oh my god! Well,
Hey,
I did it.
Did you? Oh, sorry.
I did it. I was a brand new rookie at that agency.
So
north
you
of
left your
us.
horse and carriage in gear?
Yeah, I left the horse in
His
gear,
chariot.
and I pull up to my sergeant's house, and he's got his pristine '56 Ford sitting in the driveway.
So it's brand new.
I can't get a break. I jump out of the car. Oh my god, because I'm a car nut.
Yeah.
I jump out of the car and I get outside of the door web, and here comes the car. It's like and it was like an '85 Diplomat.
Right. Yeah.
And here it is rolling towards his pristine classic '56 Ford, and I'm like, ah! So I jump back in the car, hit it, and he goes,
Right.
goddamn rookie.
Right?
Just stay in the goddamn car. I'll be out in a minute. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, man, that scared me to death.
So, speaking about parking vehicles, did you guys see, and I don't remember what state it was, did you see the agency that parked on the railroad track?
Yes. Oh, my God. With
you
a
see that?
suspect inside.
I didn't see it.
So what happened is there was a female suspect runs from the police. There was a chase, and
I think it was a road rage incident.
Okay.
And they caught her.
Right. And they had stopped her, and where she stopped, the cops were stopped where they would have stopped, but it happened to be on a railroad track.
Oh,
right.
Jesus.
So they drew down, they got her, they threw her in the back of the car, and they're searching her car. And it's funny, you look at the body cam, and they're searching the car, and you hear... And
They left the car on the tracks to perform the search.
So they're
She's in the back seat.
The first time you hear the horn whistle, they're like, well, okay. And then the second time when it gets closer and louder, they go, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Wham! The train hits the patrol car with her in it, tossing it 100 feet down the road. She actually surprisingly lived.
Right.
But holy shit.
And owns that city now.
Oh my God.
It's being renamed under her name.
Yeah. That was, and there's video. You should.
Yeah, you can't get away from that.
No.
Because one thing you have to understand, when you take someone, you place them under arrest, what do we say?
You're in care and custody.
They're in custody.
Yep.
That means you're responsible for their safety.
Health and welfare.
big
Yep.
time.
Absolutely.
Okay, which is why a lot of times, you got someone with handcuffs or walk in, and you're holding onto their arm, and they're like, I don't have to, I'm responsible for you.
Yeah, let go of me. Let go of me.
Yeah, I'm responsible for you.
That's right.
if
You
you
gotta
trip
double
over
lock-
the-
you got to double lock the cuffs.
Right.
Right.
You trip over the curb and all your teeth are gone
Oh,
because you
geez.
hit it. Yeah,
Right.
it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
So dumb criminals. I was on a call one time. It was a burglary over with, and get there and the lady goes, well, I found this, and she hands me a wallet, and I'm like, okay, so I'm assuming it's not yours or your husband's. She goes, no. And I said, okay. I open it up, and there's this dude, and I'm like, holy shit, the freaking suspect lost his freaking wallet while committing this burglary. So I sent 3 units to the house. They get to the house. He's all sweaty and shit where he had run down the street, got in the car, whatever. It's him.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, your wallet's in the house. We pick him up, go question him. Eventually he confesses, yeah, I want to know. I'm like,
Right.
Oh my God, man, you left
knucklehead.
your freaking ID with your address in it. Jesus.
Yeah, we caught a guy. When I was on patrol a zillion years ago. We caught a guy coming out of a house, foot pursuit, and it was an easy one because I'm not the fastest guy. I run like a catcher.
Were people still wearing cargo pants?
Maybe parachute pants.
Camille still wears cargo pants.
That's what I meant, parachute pants, yeah.
And so his pants fell around his ankles and he fell.
Oh,
And it's like, thank you very much.
We had a cop in the agency that we all retired from,
It's in the drug unit.
was in the drug unit and ran across a major highway, and he was trying to look like a druggie
Oh,
and had the
God.
baggy pants on, and his freaking pants came down. Yeah, and he busted his ass right in the median.
Hey, I remember when you were doing radar one time on the interstate, and you stopped a guy, and he was so pissed off. He came back the other way. You remember that? And he slowed down so much. It was like 35 miles an hour just to show him, oh, look, I'm going super slow.
Oh, so then we rode him for
you
that?
rode him again.
Hey, minimum speed 40 miles an hour on the interstate.
So he was speeding one way.
And going too slow the next time.
Going-
Screw him.
Screw
him.
You ever write besides that, a person 2 tickets?
Oh,
at once?
absolutely. I've written them for speed, and then they get all pissed off, and they slam it in gear, peel tires, get all sideways crazy, and everything else taken off. Freaking rode them again for careless driving. Absolutely.
I had a lady going speeding, rode her speeding. 5 minutes later, I'm driving through a neighborhood, and I see a car blow through a stop sign, pull it over, same lady. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, funny story. Guy comes into the chief complains about people speeding in his neighborhood. This is ridiculous. People are speeding in my neighborhood. I want something done, and nobody's been out there to do anything, and I've complained like 7 times. I get a call from the chief, because I was a sergeant. I get a call from the chief. Get your traffic unit out there, and I don't care if they're doing 6 over. I want them stopped. Yes, sir, no problem. Next car we freaking stopped was the same guy that came in to complain. He was running 13 over the speed limit. Guess what? He got his ass a ticket, and he goes, "Thank you. I'm glad somebody's finally out here." Like, whatever, dude. It cost you $285 or whatever. You know.
You ever stop somebody and their excuse was they were speeding because they had to poop?
Oh yeah.
I actually made an arrest on that one.
Really? So
This was-
let me tell you mine. I was interstate, head in the direction of the rest area.
Okay.
He was doing maybe 10 over, 12, 15, probably 15 over because I never stopped anything less than like 12 on the interstate.
On the interstate,
Yeah,
it was 15 for me minimum.
Right. So maybe 17 over. And I pulled him over and he says, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but I'm trying to make it to the rest area and I got to poop really bad." And I bought it. But, I was thinking to myself, am I going to worry so much about a ticket that the guy poops himself?
Yeah.
Or am I going to be a decent person? If he got one over on me, so be it.
Okay. Yeah. Shame on him.
Right.
Karma.
Yeah. So I let him go. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had one of those.
Well, mine was actually not speeding.
Okay.
It was failure to use the proper lane because we had a sinkhole on a Monday morning on I-4, the major roadway. Okay, Monday morning, it was the sinkhole was discovered at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
2 lanes of a three lane major highway
We're closed down.
were closed down, going towards Orlando.
Right. Oh, God. Oh, what a nightmare.
So traffic is hell.
Right.
Okay, so now,
And if y'all don't know the area, I-4 is the major thoroughfare from several counties into Orlando.
When you're getting into Seminole County, it starts really
Yeah,
getting...
both directions. It's crazy. And now it's even Volusia
Yeah.
County,
Right.
which
So-
is 2 counties north.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, traffic is down to 1 lane during rush hour traffic to get into Orlando.
Right.
Traffic is backed up for
A million miles.
tens of miles.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So normally, when we have a traffic incident like this, we're busy dealing with a traffic incident. But this was
Trying to get it cleared,
trying to get
everything
cleared
else.
and
Yeah,
traffic control
absolutely.
and stuff like that. Well, this was an interstate highway, so FHP and DOT were handling the actual incident.
Right.
So we didn't have to worry about it. So normally when we have a major traffic incident, you're too busy dealing with the problem to deal with all the ancillary problems.
Yeah. Right.
Well, me and Curtis were the traffic unit at the time. We didn't have to deal with the problem.
Right.
We could deal with some of the ancillary problems.
There you go.
So we're actually doing step outs on I-4.
Okay.
Oh, and they're passing in the freaking emergency
Passing on the
lane.
shoulder.
Right.
Okay, so
Which is a violation of law.
we just park, and as we see him driving up the shoulder, you pull over. You pull over. You
Right.
pull- Okay, I get this one car, wigwag's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's a white, 4-door sedan,
Mm-hmm.
with wigwags. I don't think anything of it. I'm assuming it's DOT.
Wig wags are flashing headlights.
The alternating flashlight.
headlights.
So I end up, I see it coming up the shoulder. Okay, it's DOT. They're authorized to be on the shoulder. They're allowed to pass. They're trying to get to the incident. They end up getting back into the lane.
Okay.
And now I got them.
Right.
I'm like, why did you get back in?
Yeah.
Pull them over. And I have to go to the bathroom. Well, why don't you get off the last exit?
Right.
I have to go now. Well, too bad. Got to get out. She keeps yelling at me every time I'm trying to do what I'm doing. I'm finally like, lady, if you get out of your car one more time, you're going to jail.
Going to jail.
She gets out of her car. Just write me the goddamn thing. I told you.
Going to jail.
You're going to jail. They were cheering for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love it when the passerbys cheer for you when you pull over some a-hole that has passed like 400 cars in the emergency lane, you know, and for no other reason than, well, F this, I don't have to wait. I'm just going to get off the next exit. Well, screw you. You can wait for everybody else.
Spray yourself or nearly spray yourself with pepper spray?
I have not, but I've been accidentally sprayed in the fray.
So I was doing a building. So it's what you reminded me. I'm doing a burglars, and I'm going around corners and doing this and that, and then all of a sudden.
Oh, did you hold your gun like this?
Yeah. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Charlie's Angel style.
Freaking ridiculous.
My nose starts running, and my eyes. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And my side is wet and a little warm, and I'm like, and like an idiot, I go.
And you sprayed yourself.
Yeah. So leaning over, I had accidentally sprayed it into my vest and my shirt, and like an idiot, I'm like, "Ooh, what's that?"
No, but I did tase the visor in my police car.
That damn visor! It was good.
Yeah,
it was out to
gave me
get
the car.
It was out to get you, wasn't it?
The sheriff's office had a different type taser. Okay, and we had a cartridge on the bottom and a cartridge in the actual gun, in the taser. And they were showing me, the battery goes out on this thing all the time, blah, 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 blah. So I pulled out the cartridge and I said, well, will our cartridge fit your taser? Because it was a different model.
Right.
And they said, yeah. And I said, well, man, our battery never goes dead. And I turned it on thinking I pulled the cartridge out.
Because you're holding the battery. You're holding the cartridge.
I'm holding the cartridge in my hand, but I didn't pull it out of the end of the gun. I pulled it out of the handle, and I went, pow, and pop, right in the freaking visor, dude. And all the chaffs that come out that have got the little identification number on them went all over the car. And Tracy Cooper and the deputy that I was with are dying freaking laughing, man.
Because those are loud. I mean, that's like a
crazy
gun
story,
going
though. Same thing happened to two deputies that were sitting next to each other.
Really?
And they were messing around.
I mean, they're
with
deputies, of course. I mean,
and he shot it, and it hit the deputy right in the
shit.
And thank God he did not have the car in gear, but his foot went full on pedal,
right?
Freaking rev limiter.
Holy shit!
Until he freaking turned it off. And he shot him right in the freaking face with the damn taser. Those things are dangerous, man. Shit can happen with them big time.
All right. Well, we could talk about this all night, and we will continue to talk about this as we. But we have some sponsors that we need to.
We do, and let's get to those sponsors
tonight.
real quick. We have Kristen and Tom Clem Realtors. They are a realtor here in Central Florida. If you guys are ready to buy or sell a home, please contact them. They are absolutely amazing. And then we have Clem & Company Property Investments. If you're ready to cash out, please call Tom with Clem & Company Property Investments. Tom is not only a veteran Marine, but he's also a law enforcement officer here in Central Florida. Still on the job, doing the job. So give him a call. He is ready to buy your property, and that's basically it for that.
Yeah.
So ARackAbove, portable overhead garage storage. This guy is amazing. Steve with ARackAbove. You see their
Logo.
Their website there, www.ARackAbove.com. This is a rack that goes in the top of your garage. It will hold all of your crap, basically all your totes.
If you kill a deer and you have the rack, can you put that in the rack?
Can
above?
you dress a deer?
You can put anything you want in a rack above.
So you would put a rack in the rack above.
Up to 2,000 pounds.
Damn.
This guy can hold anything, and you can park your car under it. You can walk under it. You can put all of your storage items, all of your holiday crap, everything else up here, get it off the floor so that you have all your floor space and you can park both cars in your garage. I'm telling you, these guys are amazing. You definitely want to check out ARackAbove. So we appreciate all your sponsors. Thank you very much. You are what makes this show happen.
Absolutely.
New mic stands, all the equipment, everything else. Give us a comment below at do the web address. I'm sorry, the email address.
It's at retiredcopsrule at gmail.com. Yeah, retiredcopsrule@gmail.com. You can also, we're on Instagram, we are on Facebook, Twitter,
Spotify.
We're on the works.
We are everywhere.
We would love for you to.
We are all over the interwebs.
All right, so make sure and subscribe. Let us know how you think about this episode or give us some ideas. And all right, guys. Well,
and just remember,
always at Surviving the Badge.
We still got your 6.
Always.